All right, so we're getting ready to merge our 402 branch -0 and push it to production. First thing that we want to do is go ahead and let's take a look out at GitHub and do a quick refresh, check our branches, see what we're starting with so that we can ensure that we're doing a good push. And we want to do a push to push our branch up before we leave it. So git, of course, we'll do a status, make sure things look good, everything looks good. So we'll do a git push, and then we'll do 402-0, and that git push origin. I got ahead of myself. 402-0. So right, git push it to our remote repository. Our remote repository is set to origin, which is the address that we get from clone, and then the branch that we want to push, which is 402-0. So we'll go ahead, we'll do that, put in our username, put in our password. It's pulling everything, bunching it all up, pushing it up. We can see that we can't see the update yet, actually. I apologize. So let's go back and let's do a quick refresh. And we see that 402-0 was pushed up. We can see that it's in our branches. We can go and look at it. We can see exactly what all is in there. And excellent. So that's what we wanted to see there. We reviewed that there. Now let's go ahead and let's check out our master branch. And now we're on our master branch. Let's do a git status just to make sure everything looks good. It does. And now that we're on our master branch, let's go ahead and do a git merge. 402-0 and 402-0, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to complete our merge. And there we can see all the additions, right? Line additions, obviously 48 lines in the style sheet were updated. The index, the style was added, the style sheet was added, so we're good there. So we merged it. So let's go ahead and let's take a quick peek on localhost and see if it updated for us on localhost. We'll go ahead and get rid of that junk. Run a little test. We're looking for errors over here. No errors. Looks like we got the update. Looks like we are good. So that's great. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and take a look in Dreamweaver. We're at 4xx master, and we want to open readme with Dreamweaver. And inside of there, we're going to go ahead and just add our treat it like our manifest, add our updates. So we know that this is 402.0, and we know that what we did inside of here was we added our login form. Well, let's start here. We'll say added style.css and linked and index.html. We'll say added login form function and call completed, and we'll say added minimal validate login function to check for blank strings. That's good enough there. And so we'll go ahead and we'll save the readme file, and we'll close that. We can see that it's been modified, so it went ahead and modified. So when we come out to our commander and we hop in here and we run a git status, we can see that's been modified. So we're going to go ahead and do a git add, and then we're going to do another git status, just make sure, which it did. And now we want to do a commit, and we're going to go ahead and do a commit. Again, I always like to try to use the same commit, just for consistency sake. So 402, crap, there it is. Merged 402 branch into master, pushing to production. And so we'll go ahead and commit that. At this point, it was committed. Let's do git status again. And that looks great. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and do a git push to our GitHub. So origin, master, and username. And that should be out there. So let's go validate that on GitHub. Go out to master. We can see that master is good and we're up to date. Let's go ahead and take a look out here. And I believe that we're getting actually getting an error here because we're not calling secure requests and we're on secure. So we'll take care of that in the next video. And I don't believe it's updating yet because of the fact that GitHub Pages sometimes takes a little bit to update. But what we can do now is let's go validate our remote. Make sure we have inspect open with console. We don't have any errors now. We'll go to Dreamweaver. Go to our file system. We'll say sync. Entire 4xx, delete remote files not on server. We'll preview it. It comes back with so we have some conflicts as far as the JS goes and the index.html. Of course it wants to put this, and so what we're going to tell it to do is we want to put that, and we want to put that, because those changes we are aware of on our server as being good changes. So we'll go ahead, we'll push that out. File activity is complete, so let's go ahead and check. So far so good. We're loading. There's our no errors. There's our login form, and there we are, which that is awesome. So that wraps up 402. We'll go ahead and we'll move on into the next step and continue building the framework of our application, and then we'll be sweeping back and doing all kinds of neat things with these things that we're positioning ourselves to use. So I'll see you next video.